What's up, folks? Johnny Lee Reinoso here with Don't Admire, Acquire. Hope you're doing well. Hey, as we start to look at what's happening around us, we're starting to hear words like post-pandemic. We're starting to hear words like getting back to normal, getting back to some level of normalcy. We're starting to hear corporations and companies, I think it was Goldman Sachs and other financial institutions that are saying, hey, got to get back to work here at the office. Welcome back, come back. People are desiring to get their folks back into the buildings. As we start to see that the competitive landscape, right, that has always been competitive in the workforce is starting to get even that much more competitive, if you will, because now everybody is racing for that finish line. Everybody is racing for that title, that responsibility, that job, that pay. Where do you stand, right? So as we start to come out of this world that we were in, okay, what I would like to call, let's say, post-pandemic world, there are 4 things you must do. There are 4 things you must adopt and make it part of your habits, okay? Because repetition is the mother and key to success, okay? So these are 4 things that you must continue to repeat on a frequent basis, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, that'll help you become the best and the greatest version of yourself. Let's get started. Number 1, read, okay? Now, what do you mean read? It's common sense. We all should read. No. I'm talking about seek to understand reading. Seek to understand. Seek to grow. Seek to perfection. Seek to professionalism. What do I mean by read then? I'm talking rather than news feed on your Facebook or any other kind of social media out there, even LinkedIn. Don't try to just read what is coming at you. Remember, what typically comes at you is entertainment and it's agenda-driven type of information. It's not what you're internally seeking to understand or wanting to learn, okay? You must look at capturing the information that you want to learn and grow with and go out and find it, okay? Pick up a book. It's critical. It's critical. Jim Rohn used to say, stand guard at the door of your mind. That does not mean just what comes at you when people are talking. That also means be careful with what you're reading. Be careful with what you're reading. Somebody once told me, look at what the broke man's reading. Don't read it. What are the rich people reading? You'll hear me say this throughout this video. Success leaves clues. It's critical that we recognize this. So we need to stand guard at the door of our minds. Don't allow ourselves to pollute this space right here that's so critical with information that is agenda-driven from the news, the media, and other folks who are living a miserable life, but rather stand guard at the door and go out and seek to understand to grow in your life, okay? Read. Now, number 2, this is a little loaded here, but it's plan and then take action. Plan and then go out and take massive action. Okay, where's your to-do list? Have you broken down the steps necessary in order for you to accomplish what X is? Okay, now there are 3 areas we should plan and take massive actions with, in my opinion. These 3 areas I myself live by. By the way, everything you see here is something that I put into place and something that I have seek to understand what other very successful people do, and they do this as well. Okay, so plan and action on a personal note. What are you feeding your body? What are you doing to your physical self? Are you exercising on a daily basis? Are you exercising 3 or 4 times a day? What is your plan and what's your action? If we don't take care of our bodies, how can our bodies take care of us, right? We want our bodies to do certain things, whether it's with our kids or friends or families or different activities, and then we're falling short of it. We're feeling sore. We're feeling tired. We actually can't do it. We allow our physical self to control our mindset. That's ridiculous. Okay? You need to take care of your personal self and also your professional. Going back to the read, what is your plan? Are you going through the motions? Are you letting your career dictate what kind of success you're going to have at the end of the day? Or do you have a plan? Did you sit down with your leadership? Did you sit down with your direct report and say, hey, this is what I'm looking to accomplish this year. This is what I would like to see happen in my career here in the next 2 to 5 years? Why is it that when an investor sits down with an entrepreneur, I had many of these meetings with different investors in my time, and when we're sitting down, they're talking about what's your 2 to 5 year plan? Because they want to know what kind of return they're going to get, because they want to know how it's going to get scaled, because they want to know if it's a viable business to invest in. Leadership wants that as well. It's not common that they'll ask, but don't wait for them to ask you what's your 2 to 5 year. You sit down with them. If you're interviewing with somebody and you pass the first level of management and now you're talking to senior management, you're talking, let's say, to your direct report, and you say, here's my 2 to 5 year plan. Here's what I'm looking to accomplish. I'm looking to blow through every record. I'm looking to overcome every goal. I'm looking to exceed every expectation. And I want to get promoted by XXX. This is what I would like to see happen to me. Is it possible here? Okay? You need to have a plan and action on your professional side and then on your spiritual side. What are you doing to feed your soul? What are you doing to feed your spirit? Are you meditating? Are you praying? Are you attending services on Sundays? It's important that we look at all these 3 areas. You can't just focus on one and not the other. These are 3 pillars that hold this foundation. Those are the 3 pillars of foundation that hold this up. Okay? Your physical, meaning personal as well, professional, and spiritual. Now, number 3, role model. Folks, success leaves clues. I mean, I don't know what else I can say there. Okay? It is absolutely critical that we go out and find role models to help us understand if they did it, I can do it. It's possible. It's possible. Repeat after me. It's possible. Okay? Role models are absolutely important. Now, people say,
yeah, but I can't find role models. I mean, they don't know who I am. I'm little guy. You know, how are they going to, why would they want to be my mentor? Why would they want to?
Folks, I have so many role models on what? On YouTube. They're constantly putting out content that I'm constantly consuming. My wife came to me the other day. I was in my office at home. I was listening to some YouTube videos, and I was writing some notes down. I was reading a certain book. I'm reading right now a book called The Speed of Trust. Great book, Speed of Trust. And I'm writing some notes down to work with my leadership team. In this process, she comes in and goes, I heard this video before. Haven't you listened to this like 3 times or 4 times? Yes. Because repetition is the key to success. Yes. Because I want to consume everything. Every and, every but. I want to learn. I want to seek to understand. I want to make it a part of my mindset. Until it's the part of my thinking, I am not going to let it go. I don't want to read something that's interesting and then I consume or I withhold only 5% of the information. That's not worth it for me. So again, role model does not have to be in the physical sense where you're meeting with somebody and they are your role model constantly mentoring you. That's not what I'm saying. A role model is saying to yourself, okay, this person has done it. I want to do it. I'm following their content. That person over there is the #1 sales guy. I'm going to keep a close eye on what's happening. I'm going to look at some of the reports. I'm going to ask some people some questions. I might go up to him and ask him. I might go up to her and say, hey, how have you done it? A competitor is crushing it in your space. I'm going to try to see what is that person doing? What has that person published? What has that person potentially read? Okay, you need to go out and seek to understand, but success leaves clues. So don't try to invent the wheel yourself consistently. You need to be able to put yourself, humble yourself, recognize that others have achieved it. Doesn't mean that you want to just hit their success. No. But recognize what they've accomplished, seek their information, gather the intelligence, get the knowledge, and then acquire it, right? Don't admire, acquire, and then go and implement it and win. You need role models. Last but not least, you have to give. In this world, we think a lot about this concept of give and get from a physical, okay, financial perspective. If I give you this bottle of water, I want to get a bottle and a half, or I want to get a can of Coke. There's always this concept of giving and getting, of bartering and trading. Folks, the greatest gift of life is when you're able to give, never seeking to gain anything back in return, but just give from your heart, give from yourself. The gift of giving and it being yourself is so beautiful, and what you gain from it, what you get, in not a physical sense, but an overwhelming feeling of joy because you just helped somebody else, is so beautiful. I remember as a child, when I remember growing up, and my family knows this because they're the only ones obviously I was close to, and they see me do this many a times. I would desire to go see my grandparents because I love them. But my grandparents on my dad's side especially, my mom's side, lived with us for the most part. But my dad said I would go see them. And I would put on a little show for my grandfather, because why? Every time I sang, did some comedy or whatever, I was like the big ham in the room. I wanted to entertain. I would get money. In Spanish, you'd give me propina. You'd give me $3, $4, $5. And I remember Going to their house, we had to pass through a couple underpasses, and in this one part of a bridge we would go under, there'd always be 1 to 3 homeless people just sleeping there on the floor. And every time on the way back, I would force my parents to stop. And every dollar I earned from my grandfather, I would give it to them. I had all of these ideas of why I needed the money. Baseball cards, show off at school that I had money, so on the way home from school, I would stop at the variety stores and buy candy and buy drinks and stuff, and I was cool because I had cash. All of these different ideas that I had with money, especially sports cards. And at the end of the day, I went with the intention of, what am I gonna gain? What am I gonna earn? How am I gonna please myself with this money? But on the way back, all of that went away, and all I cared about was getting out of that car, fearless, and giving this man all the money that I got from my grandfather. And I did that all of the time, almost weekly. But I still, every week I went with intentions of being myself, of wanting everything for myself. And it would be this man today, a different person tomorrow, in a different underpass. But the joys that I got from that, the feeling that, wow, I just helped this person, I actually impacted this person, was so wonderful. It shaped a big part of my life. So folks, give. Give of yourself. If you're a professional and an expert in your field, give. Volunteer. The up-and-comers, the new people, support them. Go out to your local shelters, give. Give of yourself, give of your time. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful habit you should adopt. Again, 4 critical habits that'll help you become the greatest version of yourself as you come out of this pandemic and this new post-pandemic world. Read, plan, and take massive action. Get yourself a role model. Get yourself a ton of role models. Utilizing mediums like YouTube, and give. Cheers. Until next time.